This is a Maisie Media production. Welcome to the Switch, Pivot, or Quit podcast. I'm your host, Ahyiana Angel, and I started this podcast just after quitting a career in sports entertainment PR to become an author. I've had multiple career lives, from designing jewelry worn by Beyonce to show running and producing award-winning podcasts. So back in 2017, when I started this pod, I wanted to help other people who were navigating a career change and having a similar dilemma that I was having when I was trying to figure out what to do, how to do it, and where I would go next.
Just because we're good at something doesn't mean we enjoy it. Sometimes people force you into a box because you're good at it, but if you don't enjoy it, you won't do what you said, Ahyiana. You won't put the money behind it, the man hours behind it, the time behind it to develop it into a skill. So you need that self-awareness to say, okay, I'm good at many things, but which of these many things actually lights me up?
Woo! But let me tell you about this Switch, Pivot, or Quit journey. It has not always been easy. But what I can say is that it has always been worth it. So many of you, our regular listeners, have shared how this pod has helped you start new careers, get jobs at top entertainment companies, and how it's giving you strategies for navigating your career. Now, with more than 200 episodes in the bank, we have an archive of goodness for you to dive into if you're new, or to get a refresher if you've been rocking with us for a minute.
The only thing you can change is you. If you focus too heavily on things that you can't control, you actually take your power away.
We've gained insights from New York Times bestselling authors like Sincero, who penned the wildly popular book, You Are a Badass.
I think fear is awesome. It is the compass that shows us the direction we're supposed to go in, because if you're not scared, you're doing something wrong. If you want to change your life, you got to where you are by doing what you're doing. So if you want to be somewhere else, you got to do something different. And we are creatures that are terrified of the unknown. So fear is a great indicator that you're headed in the right direction.
As well as former Teen Vogue editor-in-chief Elaine Welteroth.
The important thing is to have a self-care practice and to have a network of women and people who see you and who see your value and who can be there to be sounding boards for your big ideas and help you work through, those harder conversations of salary negotiations. I think we need a tribe outside the four walls that we work in to help us step into those rooms and to feel empowered.
And what's most important to me is that we get real.
It was the lowest of the low at the time. And I felt like there was no getting out of it. Like, I felt humiliated. I felt embarrassed. I felt like I had let my family down and my community down. And I have this public relations degree and I have all of this experience in all of these wonderful places that people dream of being in. And now I'm on the bottom floor and I can't get a call back. I felt like a failure.
And I always want us to dig deep into the stories of our peers so that we can find out the strategies that worked and those that didn't work.
If you want to get the most information and build the most trust, then the two magic words you should be using to start every negotiation are tell me. Tell me what it's going to take for me to reach the next level in my career. Tell me your thoughts on the proposal we sent over. Tell me your view of this situation. Tell me is the question that really gets the person to open up. The secret is it's not even a question. It's actually a command. But it reads like a really sincere opener to a conversation.
As well as the solutions.
I was never passionate about anything, if I'm going to be quite honest, until I started the Lit Bar. Me working on Wall Street, really my deep-seated frustration for my job that led me to discovering more about myself. All of my colleagues, they all hated what they did. They were only there for the money. And I'm like, I don't want that to be me.
Ultimately, it's about giving you the insights that you need to help inform your career transition decisions. Throughout this journey, I'm so pleased to have had the opportunity to be in conversation with amazing creators like Imani Ellis, who is the founder of CultureCon.
I don't recommend people letting their 9-to-5 suffer at the cost of their 5-to-9. So you have to be realistic with yourself.
And I'm grateful that we've been featured by the likes of Apple, Forbes, and ranked by Google search as a top career podcast. But what I'm really thankful for is you, my family of listeners. Your opinions and feedback on what I'm doing right to serve you, that is what I value most.